Now, according to officials, a US drone strike targeted a vehicle in Syria believed to be transporting the infamous masked Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. Time now for What's Making News with Brisbane Radio's Robin Bailey. Robin, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Deb.
Now, this senior US military official has told Fox News that they are 99% sure that they got him. Let's hope so.
Yeah, look, this is the 27-year-old British citizen who has been appearing in lots of videos where Westerners have been beheaded. It is someone that the US and the UK have been working together to get. And as you say, there was a drone that exploded a car and they're still waiting for confirmation, and they're saying it will take a little while for that to happen. But, yep, 99% sure. I mean, I guess he's a symbol of all the awfulness that is with ISIS, and the military are saying that if they can take him out, then, you know, that's a victory for them.
As you say, he is a symbol, but he hasn't been used much by IS after his identity was revealed as being this British man known as Jihadi John. And unfortunately, with IS, you take one out and another one pops up in their place.
Well, exactly right. But, you know, I think when it comes to this sort of military strategising, they want the rest of the world to see that they're actually targeting certain people and are being successful with it. You know, I mean, he is awful and they describe him as an animal, but I still feel slightly uncomfortable sitting here talking about, you know, being happy about someone being shot down. But I guess that's war, isn't it,
Yeah,
Deb?
and you know what? In this case, absolutely, I have no problem at all. Good riddance to him. He was a macabre, terrible character as well.
And you know, those videos where you're watching people being beheaded and this guy is, you know, giving a social commentary. An absolute animal, there's no question.
Absolutely. Now, today will be a pretty difficult day for the family and friends of Tiali Palmer as they farewell the murdered Queensland schoolgirl at a service in Brisbane. Robin, there's still no breakthrough in the search for her killer, but so many questions about whether authorities could have done more for her.
Well, I know, and the big issue here is the fact that it was 6 days before any information about her was released to the public, and that's, you know, in anyone's books, that's a very, very long time when we're talking about a missing child.
And would that have occurred if she wasn't in foster care?
Well, exactly right, and, you know, that's what Braveheart's Hetty Johnson is saying. We have to get a better system in place. I mean, look, this is a child who was in foster care, who had run away before, but her parents or her mother and her foster carer were working together, and within, you know, 12 to 15 hours, they were very, very worried. They were trawling the streets. They were on a Facebook page in the Logan area begging for people for information. You know, they were saying that this girl was terrified of the dark. She would have come home even when she'd run away. She hadn't gone for that long before. So, you know, you've got to listen to the people that knew the child.
Yeah.
And 6 days, 6 days. I mean, I don't understand, and I'm quite sceptical about criticising the police because, you know, now we've got this awful murder investigation on our hands, and there are 60 Queensland police who are investigating. But, you know, I do think we have to have systems in place. When children are missing, there has to be a protocol which everyone follows that says, OK, after a certain period of time. But the other thing the police are saying, Deb, which I do understand, if she had run away and they'd done this big media push and her being in childcare, and it was just a matter of that she'd gone to a friend's place, then that would stay with her and haunt her for the rest of her life. The tragedy is that this child died.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, I mean, I do think we all have to look at this, and as the investigation continues, that is one thing that the police will do.
Yeah, a review is needed, but as you say, it is just so sad. Now, interesting news out this morning, Robin, on the great age debate over when to enrol your kids in school. This new study from the US, from Stanford, shows that holding them back by 1 year can improve the mental health and attention of children. And at the same time as the study, the Federal Education Minister, Simon Birmingham, has outlined plans to allow 3-year-olds to start preschool even earlier at age 3. It's such a big debate. When should you get your kids started at school?
OK, there's a Danish study that's been done that, as you say, has shown that there is a 73% increase in children's attention span and their ability to cope if they start at the age of 6, not 5. You know, these are little... I look at our little preppies who are coming into school. They are tiny. If a child is still falling asleep during the middle of the day because they're at school, they're too young to be there. You know, I've seen preschools where they're still toilet training children. What sort of learning environment is that? I'm sorry, you've got to... These kids need to be kids. And look, I completely understand. I had 3 under 5 at one point. I would have done anything.
But it's so hard to know. And with my 6-year-old, he's in year 1, and he has got kids who look like they're teenagers because, I mean, there's a full year age gap between some of the kids in certain years at school. So it's kind of like, it balances out in the end, but...
Yeah, but if there's so little, you know, and if the studies are saying that
but
it
then
is
when you
better
hold them
to
back,
hold
they
them
become
back.
so big compared to the rest of the kids.
I know, but why aren't we just letting our kids play? And, you know, and I know that preps in Queensland, certainly it's a play-based for the first year, but I just think, you know, we should keep them back and let them have fun and do all that sort of stuff. And if the studies are showing that they're actually being able to have more of an attention if they're 6, then that's what we should be doing. The facts are there. The studies are being done, you know.
Well, it is a debate that we have not resolved here today.
You
It continues
don't agree with me,
in
Deb.
schoolyards.
Look at you.
Oh, look, I'm not convinced. I think holding kids back, there are definitely pros and cons.
It depends
on both
on the
sides.
child
It depends on the
too.
child, absolutely. Let's agree on that. The one thing we'll agree on this morning.
All right.
Good on you, Rob. Thank you.